Yeah.
Is this thing working?
It is. How you doing?
I'm good.
Awesome. Me too. So we kind of overslept this morning, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And you know how when you start your day like that, everything is late, like constantly late. You know, so we have been an hour late all day. We're even an hour late to sit down to do the podcast today. Boy, howdy. And you know, our alarm went off at 5:30.
Yeah.
You know, and hit the alarm, and there we go. It's been a really weird day.
Yep.
Weird Thursday. It's usually Wacky Wednesday, but I feel like it was Wacky Thursday today. Everything just was out. I forgot stuff at the house. Had to come back. It was a crazy day.
Yeah, it was for me too.
I hope y'all had a good day today. First of all, we want to update you on UVALDE.
Yeah, on the shooting from Uvalde.
And we have a video here of Attorney General Garland. So we're going to let you hear it.
This is his statement about what they found in their investigation.
Yeah, the federal
because
government.
they do such a good job.
Yeah. Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Last night, I met with some of the survivors and the loved ones of the victims of the horrific mass shooting at Robb Elementary School. I came here to tell them that the United States Department of Justice has finished its critical incident review. As I told families and survivors last night, the department's review concluded that a series of major failures in leadership, in tactics, in communications, in training, and in preparedness were made by law enforcement leaders and others responding to the mass shooting at Robb Elementary. As a result, 33 students and 3 of their teachers, many of whom have been shot, were trapped in a room with an active shooter for over an hour as law enforcement officials remained outside.
That's the update on Uvalde and what's going on there.
Yeah, that was the DOJ's investigation into it and what they had concluded they come up with. And what a mess.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
What happened in Uvalde.
There's absolutely no excuse for it.
And those babies and those teachers, and I can't see how they could even like show up.
Yeah.
I would be terrified. So we in no way would ever say anything about the children or the teachers or anyone that was shot.
Sure.
But I will tell you this. Why now?
Well, yeah.
Why today?
Yeah, I understand. There's some reason
what
behind it. Nothing.
That all of a sudden they got to come out against something that happened in Texas.
Right.
The federal government. Everyone knows what the federal government is doing right now.
Yeah. Fighting with the state of Texas.
State of Texas are fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something to point fingers at. And I have a feeling, this is my theory, might be a conspiracy theory, but I have a feeling
that it's coming out.
It coming out like this, that the federal government's going to try to sue Texas. As that happened today, Attorney General Ken Paxton did a press release ending litigation with former employees. I found this kind of interesting because he had litigation employees that, he let go.
Who were trying to sue him after the impeachment.
And they were trying to sue him.
That was after the impeachment, wasn't it?
Yes. Look, he says here, this is his press release. He said last year, Attorney General Ken Paxton was fully exonerated by the state legislature following an impeachment trial that was engineered by his political enemies. Now, in the best interest of the state of Texas, the Office of the Attorney General is moving on from an employment lawsuit against the agency by 4 employees that presents the same issues brought against Attorney General Paxton in the impeachment trial. The OAG has made the determination that these bad faith efforts to prolong legal proceedings are an unjustifiable waste of taxpayer resources and an intolerable distraction that risks compromising critical state business. So they're just holding it. So he's like, I'm done.
Yeah. Through fooling with you.
Through messing with you. And I'm glad.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, that's one thing I'll say about our Attorney General here in Texas.
Well,
he don't take no crap.
Well, and it's a smart decision anyway, and it is based on the fact that they're all just wasting money. You're going to get nowhere with this. So let's stop. I get it, man.
Yeah, I do too. It's time to move on from that. We got the elections coming up. I'm going to be posting on our site, so you can go and look to see the people that the Attorney General is backing during the primary. It's very important that we pick people that want to make America great again. We need to elect representatives to make America great again and
promote these things. We need to strengthen American manufacturing. We need to buy American, hire American. We need to secure our borders. We need to rebuild this wall. And we need to end America's endless wars.
That's what we're looking for.
That's it.
That's our platform, and that's who we need to make our state and our country great again. Okay, so here we go. This is our topic tonight. I know we didn't mention it because it's a deep dive. Have y'all heard about the pipe bomb story?
Hadn't heard about it in a while.
It's been a while. It's kind of been buried underneath all the other noise that's going on. And little bits has been coming out over the past 3 years, just enough to keep people busy writing stories about it or articles about it, investigating it, and asking a lot of questions. You know, one question that is being asked right now is, did Secret Service have foreknowledge of this pipe bomb? Or was it just criminal negligence? Those are the questions that we're going to hope to answer for you tonight.
That they had foreknowledge?
That either they had foreknowledge or was it just criminal negligence on their part? Like they didn't believe that person or something that came up. And anyway, we're going to get into that. That's what we're going to get into.
Yeah.
Darren Beattie.
Well, and he got this information from
Thomas Massey.
In which committee? Was it the Judiciary Committee?
The Judiciary Committee.
Yeah.
Yes, that's who's putting out all the tapes slowly, one by one, it would seem.
Right.
Seems little political to me, so I have my own beef with that. But we're going to move on.
I agree. They should all be released
Every
now
one of
and
them.
let everybody in the entire free world just go through them. I agree.
Well, this is a 7-minute clip that was courtesy of Thomas Massey, and that's a representative.
And that's what Darren done his article about. Yeah.
Yes.
But we weren't going to play the whole 7-minute clip, but we've got these clips here. They're on Twitter, on Darren Beattie's X site. You can go to it and see the videos for yourself. But what we were just going to do is come through his thread here and talk about this that's going on, because I'll tell you guys, the more that we see, the more that we learn. This thing was it's definitely, there's no doubt about it. It was a setup, and even the pipe bomb was a hoax. It was a setup to begin with anyway.
Yeah, and this happened over 3 years ago. I mean, it was, over 3 years have passed since January 6, 2021, and we're just now getting this far with the pipe bomb.
Right. And another big question
story
we need to try to ask right here, too, is where was Kamala during January 6th?
Well, it came out a year later after the story came out about the pipe bombs, and they kept saying that she wasn't there. But it came out a year later. She was actually there at the DNC headquarters.
Yeah.
Which is where the pipe bomb were planted. There was 2 pipe bombs that were planted. One was it by a tree, I believe, and one underneath a
park bench.
A park bench outside of DNC headquarters.
Yes.
If you haven't heard of that, that's because they have buried it everywhere, and it is happening. If you need any details whatsoever to go far back, you can go to Revolver.com, I believe it is, and all of his articles on it are there.
Yeah.
All his research. But tonight we're going to talk about what came out today. This video is 7 minutes long, so we can't play it because it has no sound. So like James says, so just go and check that out, and then we're going to go through it. We're going to start with...
Well, let's just start with the second posting in that thread there that he started. Like she said, this is great information, and he done a great job putting this out. It's really informative. He says, this footage shows the discovery of the pipe bomb at a bench outside the DNC headquarters. And the first clips show that at approximately 1:05, A man in a backpack approaches a Metro PD SUV and a black Secret Service SUV, informing them of the pipe bomb's presence. Interestingly, recent report from Turning Point Convention for USA reveals that this man in the back with the backpack is a plainclothes Capitol Police officer. And in this video that we're talking about right here, I'll kind of give you a little context about it. The video is from across the street at a distance. The parking spot of the DN right there at that DNC headquarters. There's a Capitol Police cruiser sitting there, and there's also a black SUV that has Secret Service detail in it. Kamala's Secret Service detail in it.
Yeah, so she was inside the DNC at that time.
Yes, she was. And what this video mainly shows, this one from back here mainly shows, is those two cars sitting there, police and Secret Service inside those cars both. Nobody's standing outside posting guard anywhere around here at this point in time. And the next thing you see is a man come walking by. He's got a backpack on his back, and he walks up to the driver's door of the Capitol Police cruiser, speaks with that guy on that side of it, walks around to the other side. That's the side that is not visible from the camera angle, and he talks to him over there. Isn't that odd behavior for somebody that would be reporting a pipe bomb?
Yeah, I found that very odd for the simple reason, what is he doing walking around with a backpack on anyway if he's Capitol Police and he's pretending to be someone else? I mean, to me, I would think that he is the problem.
Well, that's the thing. You weren't supposed to know that he was a Capitol Police officer. You were just supposed to know he's the backpack guy. You weren't supposed to know that.
So you think because they
come
didn't
out,
know,
you weren't supposed to know that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so you think that they know that that they don't know who he is. So he's just a backpack guy approaching a cop, saying there's a bomb over there, and that might be why they didn't, because they're like, who is this guy? You know, like they didn't believe him, maybe.
Well, there again too, like I said, you have a newly elected vice president at the DNC headquarters. You've got your police detail and your Secret Service detail sitting out there. There's normally a guard posted outside the DNC all the time anyway.
Yeah.
But that guard's not present. You're sitting out here as detail, and all of a sudden some dude comes walking. Wouldn't somebody get out and go, hey, man, you can't approach us?
Yeah, because they're supposed to be protecting someone very important.
That's a good tell right there, straight out of the bat. If you're looking at it in that light, that's a good tell straight off the bat.
It is. That
they know who that person was walking up to them.
Yeah.
They knew him. And he was comfortable enough with them to walk around to the other side of the vehicle.
You know, Beattie, Darren says here, he said, here's the first sign things are a bit out of the ordinary. After being informed of a pipe bomb feet away, the Metro PD authorities, who are technically on the Secret Service detail, take over a minute before they even bother getting out of their car.
Right.
Like you were saying, they didn't even get out.
Yeah. Well, and he goes on, he says, now that things are really getting weird, take a look at this clip and note how casually the Metro PD and Secret Service operations lounge about after being informed of the pipe bomb just feet away. There's absolutely zero concern for their own safety or that of
VP Harris.
Yeah, of Vice President Harris. Again, some guys, aren't you at least going to get out and at least start trying to cordon off this area and block people, at least tell them, hey, at least for right now, walk across the street,
Yeah, don't walk over here.
Don't walk over here right now. We don't need you over here.
It's funny you say that, because then he goes on and says, toward the end of the clip, you see a pedestrian walk by. They didn't even warn him there was a bomb feet away.
No. And then a little bit after that, even in another video, school children are crossing the streets.
Yep.
And by this time, they're all standing outside. But there's something interesting even about the backpack guy even before this, where he's come walking up, and we talk about the paper cup. Me and you were talking about the paper cup that we see in the video
and
at the park bench.
At the park bench, well, you see the guy coming up, and the camera moves, so you can't really see him like leave the cup, but the cup is there in the next frame.
The cup's not there. He comes past, and then the paper cup is on that bench, on the exact park bench where the pipe bomb comes from.
And you see him before that. He like throws something, but you don't see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so our theory is that he threw the cup and the pipe bomb under the bench all at the same time, just to say, "Hey, look at me here," instead of
in two motions.
In two motions.
Yeah, pipe bomb first, then cup on the bench, and then he walks to the police cruiser, and then tells them that this is where. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's all common sense stuff. What happened? We see it right here on the cameras. We've seen so much footage about these benches. You can frame by frame put these together and see what happened. But no one is doing or saying anything about this.
And that's kind of my point with the video that is there where he comes walking past that park bench. There's no cup sitting on that bench. Next thing you know, that cup's on that bench.
Yes.
Why?
And was it him?
But it had to have been. He was the only one in that area. That's the thing.
He said on here, minutes later, a Capitol police officer walks right up to the bomb and snaps a photo of it, gives a thumb up signal, and everyone leaves quickly thereafter. Weirdly, the Secret Service behavior after the Capitol police officer takes a picture of the bomb is the fastest we've seen them move the entire time. And then he goes on to say, for reference, here is the photo of the DNC pipe bomb. He had taken a photo of where it was at. Presumably the photo taken by the Capitol police officer in the clip above. But they don't seem in any hurry. And he said
to move away from it.
It's very
nothing.
bizarre.
Exactly.
That the Secret Service don't respond. That they have a total lack of concern.
Because they knew it wasn't real. They knew it was a hoax. They knew it was their plan. Man.
And what about Kamala Harris, who is being protected by the Secret Service? I mean,
yeah.
Don't you think that they would just go get her and
hide her away even farther?
Or
somewhere. Yeah.
Get her in the bunker underneath in the DNC. Who knows what they have in there?
Well, and in the middle of all of that, it all leads back to the very first question that we ask is, when you knew that a pipe bomb was there, why didn't you block that area off immediately? Why didn't you at least do that? To me, that's one of the biggest tells. Like I say, that they're there to protect one of our leaders of our country. They're supposedly there to protect them. They allow a guy in a backpack to walk up to them.
Yeah, so they weren't very concerned.
They weren't very concerned.
So I tend to think that they knew him.
They knew him. He was a Capitol police officer. They knew him. And
it makes you wonder if he was over there with the bomb and did all that we suggested he did, with the coffee cup and putting the bomb down there. And then he walked over there and told him, okay, everything's good. Then walked over there to the other guy and said, oh, everything's good.
It's the bench with the coffee cup on it. Yeah.
Yes, it's that one.
Exactly. That's kind of where I was going with it.
Yeah. So you were right on.
Yep. And the point to all of this is that we're going to make with this is, before we wrap this thing up, the J6 narrative that the government has been feeding us for 3 years is all lies.
Every bit of it.
And just think, we're coming into the 24 election season, and now we all got more video proof and more testimony that J6 was a complete setup.
Insurrection.
That don't look
all
good.
All the way around.
That don't look good for Joe Biden.
No.
That don't look good for Democrats.
So what do you think?
Yay.
You think they knew beforehand? Or
do I personally? Yes, they knew every bit of it.
Yes, I believe that too. But you decide. Do you think they knew beforehand from our information that we give you? You're more than welcome to go look on Darren Beattie's thread
on X.
Or go to Revolver.news. That's what it is. Revolver.news, and check out all his content. He's got a lot. And donate if you can, because he's a weapon we need right now.
Yes, he is.
Is this thing working?
Rise up. Well, hey, everybody, that's it for today. thanks for listening. And I hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope you've learned some things about what's going on around us in the nation and in your communities. You know, we couldn't do this without your continued support either. We appreciate all of you showing up, taking the time to listen to us today. So please, like I say, make sure to hit the like button, share our show with all your friends. We'll see you next time on Is This Thing Working? And as always, I'm James, and that's my lovely co-host over there,
Denise.
and we'll see you next time.
We're out.